Paul from RIPT Apparel, and I'm hanging out here with Tim Lim, also known as Ninjaink. Hi, Tim.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very good. Where are you at right now?
Well, right now we're at an audiology convention in Boston. So I'm in a hotel room right now, but I'm going to get back to the convention right after this interview's over.
Cool. Hope you're having fun out there. Probably not doing too much art, I would assume.
No, I know that some people might be disappointed for the lack of updates, but I do have another job as well, so I'm obligated with that.
Yeah, it's nice to have the artistic side and a real income as well, I'm sure. So,
It is
um,
a balancing act, though, so yeah.
yeah. So, we interviewed you before. TJ interviewed you about a few months ago.
Right.
How have things changed for you as an artist since then?
Um, the response from the fans has been great. We have a fan base that I was not aware of, but thanks to t-shirt sites like RIPT Apparel, we've been able to grow significantly. And so now we've been fairly successful within the last year, definitely more successful than when we were interviewed last year. But that just means that we're challenging ourselves a little bit more to try and come up with things that can sort of flow in the market. There's a lot of great artists out there, and trying to stay afloat with whatever is coming up in terms of ideas and designs, that's going to be a little bit trickier as time goes by. We just hope we have enough ideas to keep on going.
Well, would you say that you've had some success
Oh yeah,
since you
def-
started?
definitely. We've attended a convention since then. We've learned a lot. We've discovered that this can be very lucrative, and so it's only been uphill from here, and it's exciting. It really is to see where we were last year as compared to now.
Well, that's cool. I mean, it's same thing with Ripped, really. Things just as long as you keep working hard, things go in the positive, which is great.
Right,
So as far as the breadth of work you've done over the past year or so,
right.
what would you say are your favorite or your most successful or most well received designs? And maybe we can show them here on the video.
um,
Not necessarily Rip designs, anything anything you've done.
we've had a lot of positive feedback from like non-t-shirt things. We were on Reddit a couple of months ago for a design that we did for Super Punch.
Mm,
The design contest was to come up with a James Bond poster, and we thought about the old sort of conspiracy theory amongst the fans of like having like the two Bonds competing against each other. We were surprised because I got so many hits on Reddit. It was like number one for entertainment for a day. That was probably, in terms of design, it wasn't something that I was especially um, completely thrilled about. I knew that there were some flaws in it, but fans seemed to like it. What I think we can all agree on is the Metroid designs I've come up with. I was really surprised at how much the fans like those, simply because I thought it was a good design from a stylistic standpoint. I just thought that I felt really comfortable with it, and the fan response has been good. I honestly thought that there weren't that many Metroid fans out there, and I'm pleasantly surprised every single time I put one out, and the response is always good. So I'd probably have to say that the one that I put out for RIPT, as far as the T-shirts go, that's probably the best one that I've come up with as of late. I was really thrilled about that one. Glad you guys printed it.
more peace in space.
More peace in space. That's
Yeah.
right. It's kind of funny because exactly 1 year ago, I put out my first design, which was peace in space, and here I am following it up. And looking back, I'm thinking to myself, there's so many things about the design I could have done better, and having the chance to sort of redo that was really thrilling, really exciting, and I'm kind of glad I had the opportunity to be able to see it in print again in a different form.
Well, I loved you picked the perfect Art Nouveau pose.
Thank
That
you.
Muka poster was that. I mean, that's it. There's a lot of Metroid fans, but there's a lot of Art Nouveau fans as well. So
Right, right.
it was a good crossover. It was
Thank
awesome.
you.
So we're pretty much talking today though about an upcoming design. They're
Correct.
going to be on Tuesday. It's called The Voice of a Generation.
Right.
And I guess kind of tell us what it's about. I know what it's about. We've worked kind of lengthy to lengthy
No,
bounds on this.
right.
What's it mean to you, and who is this Peter Cullen guy?
Okay, well, for the people out there watching who don't know who Peter Cullen is, you might not know him by face or by name. You might know him by the voices that he's provided. So, first and foremost, Optimus Prime is a prime example, but most people don't know that he voiced Eeyore back in the day. And so, if you can do a perfect Eeyore drawl in your speech and imitate him, you're actually imitating Peter Cullen. So he sort of provided definite voice for that. He had uncredited roles as the Predator, King Kong. He was the first person to voice Mario. Obviously, this guy has provided a lot of pop culture basis, which I think a lot of times voice actors can be unsung heroes. But the fact of the matter is, he's voicing for NASA right now. I mean, he's a
Hmm.
very humble, pseudo famous celebrity, and I think that there needs to be attention to him. The design is obviously a riff on the Superman poster designs that we see a lot in terms of the shirt being pulled open. And I just think to a lot of people, especially if you grew up in that generation, that he's a bit of a hero and he's a person that needs to be recognized because, as far as the fans go, having heard about his interactions with them, he's supposed to be a really awesome guy. And I'm just glad to be able to sort of pay a tribute to him. And I hope he likes it.
Well, it sounds like he does because I showed it to him or showed him his agent, and he said he was honored to
That's
even
wonderful.
see it. So you did a great job.
Well, thank you.
And if Peter Cullen was watching this, is there anything you'd like say to him for him to hear?
Well, all I can say, and I'm sure he's heard it before, when I was 5 years old, my first toy that I ever got for Christmas was Optimus Prime. And I mean, I grew up with the Transformers, and it didn't really occur to me until I was at a public function recently and I saw a 5 year old kid, and he was playing with a smaller version of the Optimus Prime toy from the movies. And I just thought, in terms of the character and the toys, it has had so much of an influence for a lot of people, creatively, artistically. I mean, the whole Transformers franchise brings up a universe of possibilities. Whether you're an engineer trying to figure out how one thing can turn to another, if you're a story developer trying to come up with ideas of good and evil, there's been such an influence. And Optimus Prime, as a heroic character, has really influenced me today. But it would not be possible if there was not a voice behind it. And that voice has always been Peter Cullen in my mind. And so if he's listening, I just want to say thank you so much. You've inspired myself and a lot of people in ways that you probably never know. And I hope that you realize that.
I hope we see him at BotCon this year too.
I hope so.
So there's something special about this shirt. When you brought it up to us, you said you wanted to donate a portion of the proceeds to the Hasbro Children's Hospital, which is very generous. What kind of sparked that idea, and why relate it to Cullen
Um,
specifically?
Specifically, the reason is because I'm friends with people who are more actively involved in the Transformers community, and so especially one of my co-collaborators who comes up with a lot of my ideas, Mark Pellegrini, he has actually visited the hospital, and so we were talking about a different subject regarding charities, and he mentioned one of the charities that he contributes to is the Hasbro Children's Hospital. Told me a little bit more about the background of it. He's visited before, very impressed with the services they provide. Working in the medical field, I realize that there's an importance in being able to donate to hospitals, especially for children, because that's really important. Hasbro, as you know, is very strongly affiliated with Transformers franchise, so it just seemed to make sense that if the money was going to go to anywhere, it should probably go to a source that's most closely affiliated with the Hasbro name, and so that's primarily the reason why. I think that giving the children any type of monetary amount that's going to benefit themselves in their future is the best way that this should go.
Cool. Well, it's very generous of you. It's a great idea. I mean, I think the shirt is a home run, so we'll see what happens.
I hope so too, definitely.
And let's do a fun one. Who's the greatest or your favorite Autobot? I
Well,
think
that's
I know who that is, but
yeah, it's gonna be Optimus Prime, that's for sure. I know a lot of people are gonna hate me out there, but as a kid, I mean, I like Bumblebee too. I still like him to this day. I just thought that he was like a kid-friendly character that I think adults could like as well. So if I had to pick a close second, that would be him.
okay. Going with the fan favorites there. What about Decepticons?
Yeah, that's gonna be Starscream
Yeah.
for sure. Huge
Cool.
Starscream fan, and again, I think it's because of the voices. Chris Latta was the original voice of Starscream. He was also the voice of Cobra Commander, and that's also my favorite character on the GI Joe side. For anyone who's a GI Joe fan, I just think that there's so much depth to these traitorous characters that he played that I think fits the the Decepticon brand pretty well.
Yeah, that guy had an awesome voice, and no one has ever been able to duplicate it. but
No, they've come close. They've
yeah,
come close, but there's just nothing that can really match it 100%.
I believe they're putting him in the Transformers Hall of Fame this year, Chris
Oh, really?
Latta. So that's
I don't. Oh,
so.
yeah, they are. They are. It's a posthumous award. But yeah, I
Hmm.
heard about that. I'm glad.
All right, and last question: what can we expect from Ninja Inc. coming up after this?
It's
You got some new ideas?
Yeah, some of them I have to keep kind of secret simply because I know that there's other people out there who are trying to come up with things. All I know that we're trying to do right now is we're trying to sort of expand into more contest markets. It wasn't something that I touched on initially because I never had much success with contests.
Hmm.
So you would have these really stellar artists submitting work, and I just couldn't compete with them. And now, just from the encouragement that I've been getting, we've decided to look at that again. So, for example, like We Love Fine, they have a ton of brilliant artists out there, a lot of good work, and I was very amazed that that the reception for my Avengers Nouveau piece got as much attention that it did, and so people have been very encouraging with that, and so we're looking at that more. So people have been forwarding these contests to us, saying, you know what, you really need to try and branch out and do that. I know it's kind of daunting because you're competing with all these other people, but it's something that you need to look at. And so we're doing that right now. There's a Dark Knight Rises contest coming up. So I've seen the competition. It makes me sweat.
It's pretty
Very
good.
good.
I've seen it too.
And so we are brainstorming constantly, trying to come up with a fresh idea that we can come up with. Might not be artistically that great, but if we can win on the cleverness scale, we're thinking we might have a shot.
I'm sure you'll give it a good shot.
I hope
You
so.
know what you're doing. So, well,
It's,
good luck
I'm
with that.
scared, I'm scared I'm gonna get burned out, but so far I really love what I'm doing, and like I said, the fan support has been tremendous, and as long as they like what I'm putting out, I'll keep on doing it.
Well, awesome. Well, thanks a lot for spending some time with me, Tim.
Thank
The shirt will be available on Tuesday, April 3rd, and $2 of every shirt is going to be given away to Hasbro Children's Hospital. So definitely check it out, and if you want to support a good cause, pick up the shirt.
There you go.
Thanks, Tim.
Thank you. Have a good day, Paul.